show you how you can find the outlier in your data. So this is my fair column which contains some outlier. So this is the my demo column. In that column which have some outlier. So we will first find out how we can find the outlier in our data. So for that I just write down or torture my data more to get some insight on that. So let me do the size. So it which contain like 6237, not this one. In my fair column you can see if I paste the size which contain the 891 cells which are present in my fair column. So let me find out the outline using the graphical way. So first of all I will import the Seaborn library. This library is visualization library. It helps us to visualize data more effectively and more clearly. We can use the matplotlib as well, but Seaborn give us some extra feature add on in matplotlib. So I just draw the box plot. Box plot is very easy and good representation to find the outlier in our data. So I will do here like fair, and I will just hit the enter button and it will give us me the graph. So this graph I just use here show command which can remove my axis label. Okay, this is, so you can see here there are some outliers which are present. My data is currently most of the data is present in between like the 0 and 100, below than 0 100, but all the data which present in outlier. But in this graph we can't see like how many outliers which are present and how which number and which, because this graph is very critical to find out, right? So using the mathematical formula we can also find the outlier. So I am going to explain the another method as well how we can find the outlier. So to find the outlier we are using the z-test method. This is the very good method for the finding the outlier. So formula for z-test method is like x of z equal to x minus mean divided by standard deviation. So this is the formula for finding the z. So I will show you how we can implement this formula in our data set. So we have like fair data set equal to, so I just create the new column which contain the z test result for fair. Fair z test result is the new column which I want to create, which contain all the values of the z test. So here what we can do, first of all we need to find out the mean and standard deviation of my fair data. So for finding the mean, so mean equal to df fair dot mean method I am going to using it. So this will calculate the mean of my data, and also I am also going to calculate the standard deviation. So you can see here my mean is 32 and my standard derivation is 49. So now let's calculate the z score for each and every data. So to find that we just do df, we just use the np absolute to make sure my value always in positive or always in the good format or readable format, or the everything is in the mathematical way to give me the absolute value of my data. So here df fair minus mean divided by std standard deviation. So this column is created, and now this column contain all the my values or the z score of my all the data, all the z score test. So here you can see here my value is like 70 something like that, this one. So let me find out the which is outlier and which is not. So finding the outlier is very easy. Z score is the value of Z score always valid between the 3 minus 3 to 3. If the z score value is between that, then this is not an outlier. If the value is not in between, minus 3 to 3, then we can consider it's outlier. Let me now, we can see like how many outliers which are present in our data. So first of all, I need to use some I need to compare this data. So what we can do, that outlier is equal to df. I am going to using the log function here. So you can see that log, then df of fair z test result. Let me add the parenthesis here, is greater than if 3, if, or we can say same condition, just I am reversing the condition here. So less than minus 3, then give me the list of outlier. So okay, let me fix this. Okay, give me a second. Okay, this is happening because of this. Let me check my below previous code as well. Like we can, okay, here is the, actually there is the mistake happen because of the, I didn't add the parenthesis here, so it is calculated in different way. So let me add the parenthesis here, because everything is around the parenthesis, right? So if I do this, you can see here my calculator is in the good way. You can see, and then you can see here I have this many outlier. So let me put the size shape of it. So you can see here in my outlier table, which contained the 20 row, means in my overall data the 20 outlier which are present. So let me print this. You can see here all the z score is test result is for greater than 3, which means it's an outlier. So this value is the outlier here. So the outlier value means the 263, fear of the 263 is the outlier here, the fear of 512 is the outlier here. So you can see it's a greater than 3, right? It's a 9, it's too much, so too much away from this. So this is the outlier. So this all the column, it's the outlier which are present in my data. So treatment of this outlier which are present also, so we need to treat them. Either we can remove that, or we can replace it with the medium, mean, median and mode, everything which we choose based on the data extraction or the standard deviation or normalization. So we can choose that, but in this way we can find the outlier. So you can see this many outliers which are present on my data, which contain like 27 number row, 88 number row, 118 number row, and this data. So yeah, that's pretty much from my side. That's the way you can find the outlier. If you know you need a code, you can pause the video and take the code. So this is the easy and best way to finding the outlier. We can find it using the graph as well, but with the graph we can't visually, or human eyes cannot predict okay which is outlier, because here you can see the graph is a little bit weird. So that's why I am using the z-test method to find the outlier. So number of outlier here and in graph which are same. If you treat this outlier and you draw the block plot again with the new data, then this data will be normally distributed, which contain no outlier. So that is from my side. Thank you.